This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. Before we get into things today, we have a new producer-level patron to welcome to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. So thank you very much, and welcome to Jamie Young. We're really excited to have your support, and we really want to thank you for your generous contributions. In this episode, we're going to talk about chapters 15 and 16 of The Shadow Rising.
Oh boy, are we. So chapter 15, we have Into the Doorway. And chapter 16 is Leavetakings, which is our, favorite chapter title.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
This is, the third time we've had it,
It is the third time, yeah.
Except, to be fair, in The Eye of the World, it was Leavetaking.
Yeah.
Singular.
And then in book 2 is Leavetakings. It was in book 3, and now it's back Leavetakings.
Yes.
So, but holy smokes, stuff happens. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this chapter for so long. Because things happen.
Both of these chapters are quite comical.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't think they're supposed to be so funny.
Well,
they're so funny.
After I was doing the notes for 15, I was like, oh, 16 is going to be so boring. But no, so much stuff happens again.
Well, it is boring.
A little bit, but it's also hilarious.
There's a funny... Well, okay, we'll get into it.
So yeah, I want to start us off with a fun fact.
Of course.
And this one is awesome because we got an introduction to some really weird stuff this chapter. And we met some really unusual but interesting snake people.
Ooh.
And that's what we all that's all we know about them. We don't know anything else. So I'm going to start this really simple with fun facts. And I do promise that as we advance in the plot, I will give you more fun facts about snake people.
About snake people.
Snake people, yeah. That's what we call them.
Snake people.
Yeah, and one myth in particular. So in Hinduism and Buddhism and Jainism, we've got something called the Naga, which are divine or semi-divine beings that are half human, half serpent, and they reside in the netherworld or a different dimension.
Sure.
And they can typically be depicted as totally human, totally snake, or some half and half type situation. And two really interesting points about them. One is that the males are called the Naga, and the females, you want to guess what they're called?
Nagini.
Nagini,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, boom, Harry Potter reference.
That's your Harry Potter reference.
That's what it was.
Okay.
It's just funny. I had to bring it up because it's the creation of a mythical name for a creature.
Right, and she took it.
Yeah.
So, that's super weak.
It is, but it's there.
That's even weaker than the one I have planned for later.
Oh, well, I feel good about myself then.
So I feel like your reference...
Oh, you said this one's weaker than yours. Oh,
yes.
I got it backwards. Okay.
Yeah, no, yours is super weak.
Shoot.
And mine is bad, it's weak.
But this is really bad.
This is really weak.
This is just from Wikipedia, though, so it's pretty good.
Okay, well, I feel like we haven't taken shots in a while, so this can count, but half a shot.
I'll step my game up for next time.
Okay, so we'll do... half a shot.
Half a shot for half a point.
For this one. And then we could do half. You can determine how good mine is later.
Okay.
You're going to be it's so bad. Anyway, the shot glasses I picked out, because you're I have a Harry Potter reference. I picked two. There's a theme.
Yeah, I was looking. I'm trying to figure it out.
So the theme is there's a heart on both of these shot glasses.
Okay.
Because of a certain someone who 100% professes love for someone else in this episode.
Okay.
It's Lan.
Oh, it's Lan. I didn't even think that's where you're going. Oh my
God.
What even happened to these chapters? Okay, so I have a I Heart California shot glass.
And I Heart Israel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. That made me drop.
Can I continue?
Yep. Go on.
And the last mini point about the Naga is that in a lot of Hindu mythology, while the Naga are dangerous to humans, they are typically protagonists in the stories.
Interesting.
Dangerous, but good guys, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we saw some weird stuff, so we can talk about it when we get there.
Okay. Let's move right along. We got some stuff to talk about. So last time, Matt found out about the White Cloaks in the Two Rivers, but he's not going to go. Perrin also knows, and he is going to save his family.
Yes.
And essentially be killed. He's turning himself in.
Yeah, he's going to die in the Two Rivers.
That's his goal. So, he is going to try to use the dumb ways to get there. So, he also needs Loyal.
Yes.
Now, Faile obviously wants to go with him, but then there was the whole barrel lane, like, knife fight last time.
Which was great.
And it was a whole thing, and...
Perrin said some terrible things to her.
Yeah, he threw rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. But before we get into that business, we need to get back to where Matt is.
Yeah, like, we got to recover that later, too. Oh, my God.
Okay. So, there was a lot to recover. So, chapter 15, Into the Doorway, and we have the Matt dice and a Matt point of view, and I think excellent. This is just gonna be so good.
They just like set it up right. You know exactly what's gonna happen as soon as you see the chapter title and the symbol. It's like, no.
There is nothing for it. Or I go, oh yes, because this is bound to be very entertaining.
Oh yeah, we got time. Like I'm gonna nitpick a little bit just to like point out facts, but
sure.
Yeah.
And I did quite vague.
Okay.
With my notes here, so I'll appreciate your cutting in. I do have to say, so I've already said on record that Matt is one of my favorite characters, and I don't think that that's a surprise to anybody. But I can totally understand why people can't stand him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He is wildly irresponsible.
Yep, that's a nice way to put it. He, like, doesn't do what he probably should do.
Definitely not.
Yeah, he's, like, the opposite of Perrin.
Yes. He's very irritating. I could see people getting almost, like, stressed out by the things Matt's doing.
It's kind of like if you had a friend in real life who was as irresponsible as Matt is, you would be like, what are you doing?
You wouldn't want to be friends with him.
Because you're not a Taviran who can just do whatever you want and nothing bad ever happens to you.
Right.
So.
And here's the thing, though, about what I like to read in books. I like my characters to be entertaining.
Fair. Okay.
And
he is that.
Matt is nothing but pure entertainment and like excitement all the time. And I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just addicted to everything Matt does. And
it's great.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay. But with that being said, we're going to enter with Matt down a dark passageway deep in the belly of the stone. And he's like, well, I said I wouldn't do it unless my life depended on it. I guess it does.
It's like kind of really wishy-washy on that too, but...
He's just...
I guess to him...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I always notice also whenever I see rats, my like, Dark One spy alert goes off. So, like rats and ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a little hint that, there's like rats down there,
like,
so...
talks to one. But, yeah. So, we obviously have Matt down in where all the terangrials are, and he's going to the doorway.
Yeah, and you are, in your prediction, both right and wrong at the same time.
Why am I wrong?
Well, because you were like, he's not going to go through the doorway, he's going to like go look in the room and then leave.
No, he did do that already.
He did do that, but now he is in fact going through the doorway.
Since that prediction was right,
yeah.
I made a new prediction.
You re-predicted.
That now the next time he goes, he's going through it.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
Why are you so eager to prove me wrong all the time? Okay, so he finds where Egwene told him it was and thinks, like, this place looks like the basement of an abandoned farmhouse, not some great hold like it's named.
It's like one of those, like, U-Haul lockers that you see on TV that have been abandoned and all the stuff is thrown in it everywhere.
And the people bid on it and spend money on it?
I'll give you $300 for this storage locker.
Because there might be some good stuff in there.
There might be. And hey, turns out there kind of might be.
Might be. So... he is surprised that Egwene and Nynaeve didn't clean it because apparently that's all women do.
Women be cleaning.
Women love cleaning.
If they're not shopping, they're cleaning, right?
Right, so. And I said he's got a few things to learn still, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so we also get a little bit of a note that there are footprints in the dust that have crossed the floor.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yeah.
And my second read through, I went, was that... Rand and Moiraine.
There's definitely a possibility.
But it seems like they went in after him.
Yes, they definitely do seem like they went in after them, and I would say that almost as a confirmation that they went in after them.
I know.
But he does point out, like, they're supposed to be taking all this crap tomorrow.
Yeah.
So they probably have been, like, moving or shuffling
around
or,
and
like,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, with a lot of description, he finds the doorway, and he examines it a bit, and then goes for it.
His examination's hilarious, too. He, like, pushes on it to see if it's going to tip over.
Yeah.
But we do have to point out...
It doesn't.
It's not a completely plain door frame.
No. Okay.
It's got 3 sinuous lines carved deep into the stone that run down each upright from top to bottom.
Very fascinating.
Pointed out.
Thank you for
just
pointing
gotta
that
know.
out for us.
And also, it's super twisty, as if it doesn't quite, like the corners don't join up properly.
Okay.
I mean, we get more of that when we're in there, so I gotta point it out now.
It's twisty.
It's twisty.
It's a twisty place.
Yeah.
So he steps in, he is hit by a blinding light and like a roaring in his ears, and then he is in some other place.
Yes. What does that remind you of, though, stepping through a doorway?
Well, like the testing terangrial?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say a way gate.
Okay. Less of that, I'd say more the testing.
Okay. Okay. And the place that he is in is a weird, spirally, rounded place.
Yeah, good description. You got it. Okay.
Okay, and then he hears a voice that says, "A long time, yet the seekers come again for answers." Ooh.
Yeah, I love this. Okay.
Turns out there are rules to coming here. So good thing that Matt has no lamps or torches, or iron or musical instruments.
Yeah, do you have any thoughts on that at all?
Mm,
Like anything to kind of like talk about? It's so vague, but it's pointed out.
it is pointed out. So because maybe there was like a blinding light when he stepped through,
Sure.
there's no torches or lamps, like maybe light is perceived differently here.
Okay, because we
And-
do get that they're just like shiny globes on the wall.
Yeah.
Kind of look like just lights or something.
Maybe also their cloth that they're wrapped in is very flammable.
Fair,
And
safety
they
first.
don't like fire.
And they don't like amateur musicians, so that makes sense too.
Yeah, I think
We have our own musicians.
Maybe the musical instruments, because we do hear a bell ringing in this place.
Yeah, like a gong when things are
No,
going...
it says a bell tolling.
A bell, yeah. Like when things are going terribly.
Yeah.
So one hint I'll give you for like a real life illusion is that iron is very common for fairies to like ward them off.
Ah, okay.
That's why like iron horseshoes and stuff like that exist.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, as good luck charms.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So these guys are fairies. That's
There's-
what you're saying.
There's some similarities, absolutely,
Okay.
to them and fairies. So yeah,
Okay, so we see this person or thing
yeah.
talking, and it's a strange alien snake type person.
Yeah, Snake Man.
And you know what I picture?
What?
The creatures or like aliens from Camino in Star Wars. So the clone planet.
Okay. No, I don't know.
You want
I don't know Star
I'll show
Wars
you a
well
picture.
enough.
Hold on.
I'm trying to think.
There.
Okay, yes. Actually, that's not
Isn't
bad.
that the description almost exactly?
It's like too slender, too tall, kind of like snaky.
Well, and then if you take a look at its face, it's got like 2 slits for nose.
Are
Like,
you telling me that Star Wars... Okay, I get it.
yeah.
You know what? You can go with that, and I'm cool with
This
that.
is, except it's these guys dressed as mummies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they're
okay.
like wrapped in lots of
Yeah,
cloth.
I'd say shorter neck probably, but like the rest of it, I'm cool with.
No, even that.
Okay,
I
long neck,
picture.
let's go
Yeah.
with it. I'm fine with that.
But then here's my other terrible reference.
Oh, no.
Who else has a slit for a nose and looks sort of like a snake?
Oh, Voldemort?
Yeah.
Your reference is so much worse than my reference was.
But it's still the same snake.
Except
Like-
they don't have slits for noses. They have
No,
slits for eyes.
It was a stretch. I
That's the
told you.
worst. You get the award for the worst one today.
Okay, but in the books, his eyes are described with slits for pupils.
Okay.
Like, he
well,
does have
makes
that too. The only reason I actually made the Voldemort connection was because when I looked up the Camino aliens that I was thinking of, because
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of the planet.
Sure.
I just kept thinking the clone planet. But I saw a picture of them, and they sort of look like Voldemort. And then I went, oh,
Oh, yeah.
Voldemort snake-like. And
I
and
love
we
it.
haven't done a shot in a while.
Okay.
So,
Well, there you go.
and when you said I have one, I said, oh, I bet I know what it is. You're like, I bet you don't.
Yeah.
But same.
Same.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay, I made a fun one this time.
Yeah.
It's a caramel apple shot.
Awesome. Sounds delicious.
So it's salted caramel whiskey with apple whiskey.
Sounds tasty.
Okay, go. Once the alcohol stops burning, it was good.
Yeah, it tastes good. Tastes like caramel apple.
Oh, it hasn't stopped yet. Oh, it's warm in here. Okay. Back to my hunch. Okay, so we got clone planet mummies,
Yep.
and Matt's like, no, I don't have any instruments. Why? And then he cuts off real fast because
Oh,
you
dang.
enter this place to ask 3 questions only.
Yeah, and he
you're
doesn't
gonna
know
ask-
the rules. Yeah.
You're going to ask, why can't I have instruments as your one question?
Well, it's kind of funny because, like, now that we've read the chapter, there's a good chance that he could have asked that question and there would be no repercussions.
Absolutely.
Because, like, this isn't the dude who answers the questions.
How the hell is Matt supposed to know that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, now that, like, we know now that he probably would be fine. But I gotta say, congratulations to Matt. Up until he enters the chamber, he does a great job of holding his tongue. And, like,
okay, sure.
well, he like
can
consciously,
have PowerPoints.
he like consciously doesn't ask questions, sort
He
of,
starts to,
but he stops himself, and
because
that's the
technically
self-control.
why is
Yeah.
a question.
Well, I know that, but it's like he's trying
He
so hard.
tries.
Points for effort.
He does try. And he's getting agitated by this person thing
Yeah, Snake.
on his like long walk.
Snake Man.
Snake Man. Okay.
Star Wars alien.
I know that. Yeah, the problem is I didn't see them as snakes.
Okay.
And so I
well,
get
it's like that's what he.
I know, and their hair is like scaly or something, like they have like scales. So I get that people call them snake people.
Yeah.
But this sentence I said, so the mummy snake alien tells Matt to follow.
Yeah. Come along.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we're doing this.
Yes. Which is also very similar to Star Wars when Obi-Wan goes to find out what's going on Camino.
Yeah.
And they're like, we've been expecting you.
It's like,
been,
have you?
It's been so long. Follow me. I'll show you.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think Star Wars either.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
they ripped
similar.
they ripped it off. There you go.
It's
Makes
exactly
sense.
the same,
Okay.
except for not at all the same.
No, it's identical.
So this is where Matt thinks this place makes his skin crawl, and we get a call to that later when Moiraine explains what that feeling is.
Yeah.
And it's something I 100% did not pick up on the first time I read it.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely not.
but I get it now,
Because you
and
read
I
it
can
again.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like feeding or something on his emotion.
Sensations.
His sensations.
Yeah, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
So they walk, and Matt notes how weird this place is. Like, it's all twisty, and time and space doesn't seem quite linear.
Yes, 100%.
But nothing here is linear at all.
Yeah.
Like, there is no straight line to be found.
So I'm glad that you're picking up on that and actually reading through that, and not sarcastically either, but because I just want you to like note that there aren't any straight lines, and it's all like rounded and circles and off.
Yes.
So just like mental note for later.
Definitely. So Matt wants to ask where they're going and when they're going to get there, but he cuts himself off. So that's that excellent restraint.
He did it again.
Go, Matt. So we get to a large rounded doorway.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Whoa. We skipped a little too much.
Oh, I don't want to talk about the trees outside.
Well, we have to, but not the trees. Okay. Two
Brett.
things. One is Matt has, and he thinks to himself, he has a dim memory of walking halls that had not known a human foot in hundreds of years. And this feels the same.
Cool.
So the only thing
Okay,
we can connect that to is like, one, is he like remembering his
His-
journey through Shatter Logoth, or like something
maybe.
creepy and weird that no one's been for a long time?
Or maybe his whole, like, other guy who lives in his head.
Exactly.
Who understands the old tongue.
Like old, yeah, exactly.
Which
So it's
we'll
like,
get to also.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like weird. Okay. And then the 3 tall silvery spires, which like are coming out from one of the windows, and they're curving in towards each other. The points are aimed at the same spot. It's just like a mental note again of just like little tidbits of information. I like to have it on record for you for later.
Okay.
So I can be like, remember when I said that? And you can say no.
No.
And I'll say, it was right here.
And I'll say, okay. Thanks for not talking to me about all the trees.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, they get to a large rounded doorway, and here his answers may be found.
Ooh, enter.
Enter and ask.
It's very like Arabian Nights too, like.
A little bit, yeah. So, he goes in, and this place smells bad.
Yeah.
And it's a rounded room with 3 tall, spirally pedestals, and one of these creatures is sitting on top of each pedestal, panting like they're gonna do some real intense yoga.
Okay, so do you know Futurama at all?
Yes?
When in like the original or the beginning, it's like the bunch of nibblers, the Nibbler Society, they're all sitting on tall pedestals, like with hoods and cloaks and stuff, and like looking down at, I think it's Fry and Leela, and they're like staring down. It's just like, that's the image I always get of like the bunch of
little
nibblers.
cute nibbler pet thing that she has.
And they're like on pedestals, like on chairs or whatever.
I don't remember that one specifically. But
yeah, that's the memory I get. So
funny.
like, yeah.
Okay. So they say, the ones who are all up on the pedestals, it has been very long, yet they come again.
Yeah, and we know why it's been such a long time.
Because they were trapped in the garbage room.
They're trapped in the garbage room for like 300 years. Because prior to this, that doorway was in Mayenne, and they used it all the time.
All the time.
Until they gave it away. So.
Right. Okay. So now they say in unison, enter and ask according to the agreement of old.
Ah, old agreement. I love it. Okay. We don't know anything else about that, but.
Yeah. So, turns out, I'm actually a little surprised by this.
Why? Okay.
Matt has prepared 3 questions.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And my thought through this whole time was, is he just going to wing it?
Yeah, and he totally does. But
he does, but like that's an accident.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he was going to go in or if he actually had something in mind. Like the 3 questions, the past, present, future. Like, did Egwene tell him about those? Like that part of it?
No, I don't think she ever mentioned like the past, present, future.
No, it was just like
more
you
general
just get
and vague.
to ask questions.
Yeah.
And you can't ask about the dark one.
Yeah, like the rules kind of
there's
sort of.
consequences. So he has prepared 3 questions, which is more planning than I thought he would do.
Good for him.
Yeah. So he asks the first one, should I go home and help my people?
Yeah.
Excellent question.
Good question. Very heartfelt. Like, I definitely feel...
But, like, vague, not frivolous, doesn't directly correlate to the dark one. It's just sort of like, was he expecting, like, a yes or no answer?
That's the issue,
right?
because Matt gets derailed so hard, so fast. And, like, even by the end of this chapter, he's not out of the derailed headspace.
No.
Like, he hasn't yet recovered from that, and we can talk about whether he will recover, but it's just not good altogether.
No.
But they give an answer.
Yes. So, one of the creatures stares at the air above Matt's head and then says, you must go to Ruidian.
Yes, Ruidian.
Did I say that right?
Ruidian.
Ruidian.
Yeah.
Don't
there you go.
Tell me to pronounce things.
Okay.
Okay, but like, whoa.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this.
Uh-huh.
What do they do before they give the answer?
Look above his head.
They stare at the air above his head.
Like they're breeding things.
Yeah. Who else do we know who sees things above people's heads?
Min.
And then, like, knows stuff
Are you
about
saying
people's
Min
futures.
Is a snake person?
Secret snake person. She's like a lizard in disguise.
Oh my god.
She rules the world secretly.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but hey, it's like a very similar, like, same phrasing.
Viewing type thing.
Viewing, and she, like, knows stuff. Yes. She just doesn't always know how to interpret
exactly.
it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, then a bell tolls, and the creatures start, like, talking to each other, but don't make a lot of sense. And one says, he is another, the strain. And the other says, the savor. It has been long.
Okay, so, like, and again, now that you've read it twice, we can...
So, I can tell you the first time I read this, I didn't think anything was up.
Oh, okay.
I just thought...
It's part of the ceremony?
It's part of the ceremony.
Yeah.
It's part of the something they're going to... I have no idea.
I don't know. You asked the question, you get a bell who tolls.
Yeah.
I think that Robert Jordan just wanted a bell to toll in his books so he could ask, for whom did that bell toll?
For whom the bell tolls.
Because also Robert Jordan?
Of that.
Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. Good reference.
I get you. Okay, so then the other says, there is yet time, and then she turns to Matt and says... ask.
Okay, so again, let's talk about this in case anybody's still confused and didn't read this chapter 3 or 4 times.
Right.
So the bell is tolling, why?
Because Rand entered the place?
It's possible, yeah. Because someone entered, and that's why they say he is another Taviran.
Yes, okay.
So, and that's when we come to the strain.
Right, because it's a lot on this place, because
this,
Taviran,
universe.
Pull things to their liking, basically.
And this is like an extra dimensional place that the rules don't apply to. Yeah. So, like, who knows how having two Taviran...
Well, they clearly read threads.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, the way they describe things to Matt later, it's clearly them reading the threads.
Yeah.
And if a Taviran walks in and is, like, pulling threads around...
You're messing everything up.
Yeah.
And we also know that they do have an agreement, which is, one, they get to, like, eat your sensations or something.
And
I use eat very loosely because
I don't think that it's. I didn't get that it was like an ingestion thing. I just got that they probably don't.
Feel,
I don't think that they have similar feelings and they like them.
Yeah. Okay.
And they just like experience them.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, there's agreement, and then the other side of the agreement is that whoever enters probably isn't supposed to bring fire, iron, musical instruments for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But like that's what
mostly
they said at the beginning.
Because this place is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And then they say there's yet time, ask your questions, because Matt spent like however long walking to get to the place.
Yeah.
So there's time before Rand shows up, hopefully.
Okay. I appreciate your explaining this because especially the first time and even now, I thought that maybe Moiraine, Matt, and Rand are all in this place at the same time, and because time is weird here, they can all sort of be read, or like ask their questions at the same time.
That's possible too.
Like it's all happening at once, because it seems like it's moments. Later when they all walk out and they've all clearly had their questions answered.
Well, it's kind of like the ways where time is wonky. It doesn't quite line up.
Yeah, it does seem wonky.
Or the portal worlds.
And I thought maybe there were more than just these 3 people on a pedestal. There's like different rooms.
You get led to like ABC room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible too. They could be saying there's time.
The whole time thing is different.
It could say there's still time before like the world implodes, because it kind of seems like the world's going to collapse or something based on what Moiraine says later. So
okay, we definitely need to get back to the storyline.
Right, okay.
So they had just told Matt he needs to go to Ruidian.
Yeah.
And Matt is now pissed off because he does not understand, and so he loses his freaking mind. He loses his attitude.
To be fair, Egwene said, you ask questions, you get answers.
Yes.
And he didn't want this answer.
Well, he doesn't quite understand the answer.
Yeah.
Because he said, should I go home? And he's expecting a,
yes or
go
no.
help your people, or no, they don't need your help.
But they're like, go to Ruidian.
And he's like, what the fuck? That doesn't answer my question. So he forgets his other questions.
It's just like gone.
And just yells, Ruidian, I don't want to fucking go there. I'll fucking be damned if I'm gonna go fucking there.
So you interpreted that with our swear words.
Yeah.
So we can understand
should I have said, okay, so this is I'm an interpreter, and I'm interpreting his funny weird swears into real swears.
Yeah, just so we can understand.
So the burn your ashes and burn your bones to ashes
and your mother.
And your mother. I actually have that in here later.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because this is only the beginning of the swearing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then he goes, I'll be damned if I'm going to go there. Why should I?
Boom, question 2.
I want answers, not riddles.
Yep. So question 2 is, why should I go to Ruidian?
And the creature says, if you don't go, you will die.
I mean, good answer.
Good answer.
Okay.
Good answer. So the bell sounds again, louder, and the 3 aliens, snake people, look anxious. And one says, the strain is too great. The savor of him. Oh, because they're tasting him.
They're tasting him. That's why the savor makes me think of like eating. They're ingesting.
It just makes sense. Because I actually Googled the word savor.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe I was missing something and there was some other definition that I didn't know about like savor as a description.
Yeah.
No.
Not really.
It's only taste.
Yeah.
Basically, taste and smell. That's
but it's
really
like,
what it...
how do you taste emotions and sensations and feelings? I mean, that's the other question.
Well, they do, though. No, oh my god, that makes so much sense.
Okay.
Like, my mind just blew.
I mean, and the tough part about coming back to the bell tolling is, like, we don't 100% know if the bell is tolling because someone entered again.
Or because
or
it's
if it's like the strain is too great.
Or it's like a warning.
Yeah, a warning like, oh my god, this isn't going well. Or is it because he asked questions? Like, it's convoluted at this point.
It is convoluted. So. At this point, when I read it for the first time.
Yeah.
And didn't know that there was a bunch of people just in here.
Just hanging out?
Yeah. I thought this was only because Matt is Taviran. I thought because he's pulling things.
Okay.
Right? Especially when they start just spouting out lots of answers.
Yeah.
When they should have only given him 3.
Well.
Like, I thought he was really just pulling and changing things strictly because Taviran-ness.
And who's to say that it's not that too? Because he is a super lucky guy who like pulls threads to get what he wants / needs.
Right.
So
then they yell at Matt to ask his last question because like everything is kind of going a little crazy. And Matt's like, fuck you guys. Why will I die if I don't go? And they cut him off and say he will have sidestepped a thread of fate and left his fate to drift off. And then he'll be killed by those who don't want that fate fulfilled. And then they say, now go, get out of here.
Yeah, so like his 3 questions, when they all come down to it, they did clearly answer them.
Yep.
More so than I would think that they necessarily would need to. Like, who knows what the agreement really is, right?
Yeah.
So, but they definitely are helpful in some way. He's just asking terrible questions.
Right. Okay. So then all of a sudden, the guy who took him to this room shows up to take him away. And this makes Matt now super pissed off. And he goes, no, I will not go. You tricked me. You led me from the questions I wanted to ask. What fate are you talking about? And the guy's like, no, you got your questions answered. Get out of here. And then a dozen of these snake people are all around him trying to pull him out the door. And he's fighting them, and he's yelling, fuck you guys, what fate?
Just like crazy.
You sons of bitches.
So it's kind of funny because the bell tolling doesn't quite seem like it lines up with the questions and answers, because the third bell, it takes a little while after he asks and gets the answer before it tolls a third time.
Yeah, I never thought it had something to do with the specific questions he was asking.
Yeah, I'm just like talking through different things that we can kind of pull out of it. So.
Yeah, and then Matt's like, what fate? Fuck this, and your mother, and your mother, and your mother.
He's like, he's kicking and screaming basically, and there's a dozen guards.
Yeah.
The mummy alien guards.
Yeah.
So, it's a great scene.
And the walls and the floors are like quivering and shaking, and these snake guys are freaking out, trying to get Matt out.
Yeah.
And the ones on the pedestals are all standing now and starting to just yell things out.
Hey, so, okay, kind of sort of. Before we get into that whole yelling things out, I just want to make one more comparison to what we've seen before.
Okay.
So, when you, in the real world, invoke the Dark One's true name, what happens?
The ground shakes.
The world lurches.
Sure.
Things shake.
Okay.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah. But then in this weird alternate dimension universe, when you don't leave when you should, or when like too many Taviran thread pullers start coming into their like realm, the world shakes, weird stuff happens. So one of the cardinal rules of going from what we've seen is don't talk about the Dark One when you're in this weird world.
Right.
Because invoking the Dark One's like name in the real world, like who knows what that would do in this universe.
Right.
If you attract Shaitan's attention in this like already crazy world.
Because we don't get what Rand's questions were.
No, we don't.
And we get very little about what Rand knows about this place.
Well, even Matt thinking to himself, he's like, I didn't even mention the fact that Rand is the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
So like he stayed away from the shadow.
Yeah, he did. For the most part. Except that he's like screaming at them, burn you!
But I mean, that's the crazy thing is like, why are those the rules? Don't talk about the Dark One and the shadow and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. So you got to think about that too.
Interesting. And that would clearly be at the top of Rand's mind if it's like about the Forsaken.
How do you not ask questions about it? So
unless, if he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Not to.
Okay, so let's talk about Matt's last question that he asks 3 times.
What fate?
Yeah.
What fate? What fate? Does he say it 3 times?
Rule of 3s.
Okay.
So far in this universe, you get 3 questions, 3 truthful answers.
Okay.
Right?
So, do you want to hear what his 3 fates are, according to these people?
Well, that's the crazy thing, is like you're only allowed 3 questions, 3 answers, but if you ask the last question 3 times, you get 3 answers to the same question. It's like rule of 3.
Well, and he's also Matt. So
he's also Matt, and it's like they also want to get him out, so they
just start yelling things at him.
But I mean, that's cool. Like, let's talk about these 3 fate answers.
Sure. Okay. So, we have to marry the daughter of 9 moons.
The daughter of the 9 moons.
Of the 9 moons.
Uh-huh.
That's what I said.
Nope.
I know. I know. So, my theory?
Sure.
Do you want to hear it like right now? Or do we want to say them all and then I break them down?
Let's go one at a time.
Okay. So, the court of the 9 moons?
Yes.
Is the Shanshan.
Yeah.
correct?
That's true.
So that's the theory.
Yeah, and the Court of the Nine Moons, we heard that at the beginning of this book when the Shanshan woman was thinking there's no need to return to the Court of the Nine Moons and apologize to the Empress for failure.
Okay, so the Empress is in the Court of the Nine Moons.
I mean, maybe. You might have to apologize to her in the courtroom.
Maybe.
The Court of the Nine Moons.
Okay, but that's definitely a Shanshan thing. So he's gonna marry
the daughter
of
the Nine Moons.
The Nine Moons.
So maybe yeah.
So he's 100% marrying some kind of princess.
Well, and he thinks to himself,
of the Shanshan. What?
Sounds nobility. What kind of crazy thing would have to occur?
And the amount of times he thinks that he hates noble women.
Yeah, and he's not a nobleman.
Yeah.
So.
I don't really want Matt marrying a Shanshan.
Well, hey, it's the daughter. So, I don't know.
Gosh, that's bad, though. I wouldn't have expected that for him. Anyway, okay, moving on. Because I can't dwell on that too much right now.
Sure, yeah. We can come back to it.
Mm-hmm. So, the next thing that's yelled out is to die and live again and live once more a part of what was.
Yeah, okay, go.
Okay, I do have sort of a theory. So, this is sort of like the whole reborn thing from, the Manetheren General.
Sure, okay.
So, to die and live again is what Matt's doing right now.
Okay, so old general in his head died, now he's the living again part?
Yes. Especially because they say, go now, son of battle, trickster, and gambler.
They do give him those titles. They give him
3 names.
Yeah.
And they say, basically, he's going to die, live again, and then, live again.
Live once more a part of what was.
So
okay.
I think the whole die and live again is the Manetheren General.
Okay.
And then the live again is trickster. That's regular Matt.
Sure.
Before the dagger.
Okay.
And then the whole live again thing is as the gambler, which is who he is now, and it's a mixture of both.
Love it. Okay.
Since he was healed
Yeah.
from having the dagger is when he started yelling the stuff about the Manetheren General in the old tongue.
Yeah,
so
okay.
That's my conclusion.
I like it. Okay, that's good. And the last one.
To give up half the light of the world to save the world.
Awesome.
Very awesome.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Unless he's gonna marry the Shanshan to take down the Shanshan from the inside.
It's not the worst plan.
I would hope.
How is that giving up light, though?
Well, I know that the Shanshan are probably going to take over the tower at some point.
Yeah,
they're coming back. And
we
they're
got
coming
those crazy
back for
min
a war.
viewings, yeah.
Yeah. They're coming back for a war, so, maybe that ties into this.
Okay, and then half the light, we'll just kind of wait and find out how he's going to save the world.
Yeah, go Matt, though. I didn't know he was going to have, that big of an impact on the world. But,
as the sounder of the Horn of Valir?
Well, there's that.
Does that have anything to do with the light? No? Okay.
Maybe. No.
Things to think about.
What
does Matt have as an ability? He's got luck. He's the Horn of Valir blower.
Well, he's going to be some sort of, army guy, probably.
Army man. He's a son of battles.
Yeah.
Because that's how they give him the titles.
Yeah.
And also, we did get in the prologue of The Great Hunt at the Dark Friend Social, Boars titled Matt.
The Trickster.
The Trickster.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, did I not say that out loud?
You didn't say that out loud.
Okay, because I was like, that's Matt. Because that was his name in the Dark Friend Social.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't say that part out loud.
Okay. Anyway, so they get all this. It's all happening at once. I don't even know if Matt's really listening even to what they're yelling out.
Oh, I can assuredly tell you he is not paying very much attention.
The only thing he picks up is that he's going to marry someone, and he's like, I'm not getting married. That's no fun.
It's a bunch of lies.
Yeah. And so the creatures basically just pick him up, and he's just yelling and cursing at them like nobody's business. I can't even translate.
It's so funny, too.
Let go of me, you sons of bitches. Fuck you and your mothers.
Well, you can just imagine, this pack of guys just, above their heads, and carrying this mat.
And he's, and going crazy.
Yeah.
And he's like, damn you to hell, and, all that good stuff. So the bell rings 2 more times, causing a crazy earthquake, and everyone stumbles around, and they get Matt to the doorway and throw him out.
They literally toss his ass out of here.
Yeah.
Through the doorway, get out of here.
And he's all riled up and tries to get back through the doorway.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. And he also hits the barrel, and all those terangrial that were like there, and he had put his lamp on, all of them go like scattering across the floor.
Ugh.
It's like, don't knock over the super valuable.
Oh, no one cares about the shit down there.
I care about it.
Well, I know, but like everything's been left down there like garbage. So
like, what's going on?
Anyway, okay. I have a typo in my book here.
Oh, where?
So I didn't mention this last chapter.
Okay.
But in the last chapter we read, I had in the margin where there should be no letters.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Okay.
There is a single letter A, a lowercase a, and it's like upside down.
It's like hanging out.
And it's just hanging out. Like, what's that little guy doing?
Yeah.
It's funny. Yours didn't have it.
Nope. It's just like a weird misprint.
Right. And then on this page, 254.
Okay.
There's a sentence that says he would sooner marry a pig than a noblewoman, and the A before pig, a pig, is missing.
Oh my god!
It's a big blank space.
So we found the missing A.
We found the missing A. He jumped pages.
How does that happen?
I
in
have
the printing of a book?
No idea.
Like, that's crazy. That's not how printers work.
I was reading and I was like, this sentence doesn't make sense. And there's this big old space here where there shouldn't be a space.
Yeah.
And the A is like on the edge of the left-hand side of the margin. Like it's the first letter of the line. And it's just gone. But it's over like 10 pages before.
How does that I don't know enough about how books are made.
I have no idea. It's the funniest thing. I love it so much.
Okay.
It's so funny.
We threw out a question about shifts and we got a pretty good answer on Discord.
Yeah.
I feel like someone who has
Tell
knowledge
me
of like
about book
how do
printing.
books work? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to know.
I know.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, back to this because that's Matt considering all these answers. And he hates them all.
Oh, he's not happy.
He hates every answer he got.
He also doesn't think he got any answers.
Yes.
Like, it's a weird, like...
No, I know.
His thought process is so
He's
muddled
like
right now.
mad at them for tricking him out of his questions.
Yeah, like, hopefully he calms down and, like, you know, comes to and thinks about it, but...
Not
I mean, it's
bloody likely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not right now.
No. But then...
Something really important happens.
Someone steps out of the doorway... And it's Rand?
Okay, so when you've read this the first time, like, talk me through.
Okay, what?
Were you like, oh my god? Did that catch you off guard at least?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I had no idea that was coming.
It's like we thought we were
Was I
getting...
supposed to predict that was coming? Because I had no clue.
I have asked you so many times the last couple of chapters about who's going through this potential doorway to get answers.
It was never Rand.
And it was never like 3 in succession, then all like hanging out
all
in the
at
storeroom.
Once. Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's so funny. Okay, so Matt is like, did you get your answers? And Rand says that the creatures were afraid of him and shied away from his fire sword.
He's not supposed to bring fire.
Oh.
That's like the first rule. Don't bring fire.
Shoot.
Don't bring iron. Don't bring music.
I don't think that Rand knew any of the things.
Or maybe he did.
And didn't care?
If they're afraid of him. Matt was trying to like intimidate the snake guys, snake alien,
and it didn't
Star
work.
Wars guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's like, that's something to think about.
Okay. And then Matt tells Rand that his answers didn't make any sense. And then, like a whole Three's Company situation, and Moiraine just freaking steps out of the terrain room.
And I bet when you were like surprised by Rand being there, like it was like double, like, what?
You know what this actually reminded me of? Which is funny. Oh, this one wasn't called Leavetakings. Because the chapter called Leavetakings in Eye of the World was when everyone was popping up in the barn or the stable.
Right. I want to go.
Yeah.
No, I want to go.
Yeah, and people just kept popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that's what this scene remanded me of.
That's so funny.
Enter stage left. You know.
Tom's in the hayloft or something.
Yeah, it was just so funny. But this is like, Rand's here. Now Moraine's here too. And Moiraine, not expecting either of these boys to be here.
She's not happy. Oh my god.
Oh, this is all very comical. This is freaking hilarious. So her mouth tightens at the sight of them and goes, You were both in there? That's why, ...
Yeah, and that's why we can probably figure out the world was like crashing down.
Oh yeah, well, not to mention like 3 of them being in there. Like, I don't know what the rules say about that happening or...
Well,
right?
considering it was like used by like the kings of Mayenne, kings and queens of Mayenne, or whatever you want to call them, it was probably like a one at a time situation,
Right.
not designed in the agreement to like handle a bunch of people.
Right.
So
it seems to be quite a fragile place.
yeah.
So anyway, Moiraine thinks these guys are just idiots, and she's like, "Was Perrin in there too?
Well,
Where's he?"
And what she also says is, which one of them told you?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of those girls?
Yes. How did you know? Who told you? But you skipped ahead.
Jumped. Yeah, I skipped.
Yeah, you skipped ahead because
Okay.
first she's like, "Was Perrin in there?"
Yeah.
And then Matt lies about Perrin's whereabouts, sort of.
Well, he technically, I mean, kind of, sort of.
He omitted the truth.
Is that lying?
Yup.
Okay.
So she's all pissed off. They could have been trapped in there forever. They're morons doing things without thinking or telling her. And that pisses Moiraine off. And then she asks them how they found out.
Right, yeah.
And that's when she's
That's
like,
when she
which
does it, yeah.
one of them told you?
It's so good.
I'll
okay.
skin them alive. She's like, fuck
Ah.
those girls.
Yep.
But Rand is all cool about it. And he says, read it in a book. 2 books, actually.
Well, this is the funny thing. If you recall, when we first got, I was like, oh, read the titles of the books that Rand's reading.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's about the stone.
Yeah. Treasures of the Stone.
Yeah.
And dealings with the
Mayenne.
territory of Mayenne.
Yeah.
Because they had the whole, gateway, so.
That's right. And then, I love this because my favorite quote that I have come across is right here in this chapter. And
Really?
I didn't know. I had no idea. So, if you go to our Patreon page,
Oh, yeah.
I created a banner with like a mountain that like looks like Dragon Mount.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a quote that says, "Surprising what you can dig out of books if you read long enough, isn't it?"
Huh.
And when I was looking up Robert Jordan quotes to be like, oh, what should go on our banner here?
Yeah.
That's the one I found, and I loved it because that's what we're doing. We're reading these books long enough and digging stuff out of them.
Ah,
right?
okay, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I love that, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. And I thought it was just a quote by Robert Jordan, and I mean, you don't need to give me a lecture about who wrote this quote. I get it. I get how books work.
It's a Randall Thor, Robert Jordan situation. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I thought maybe he had given the quote
In an interview.
interview
Okay.
type of thing,
Not
where
like
people are
literally-
like, oh, talking about all the foreshadowing he does, because if you read his books long enough, you just keep digging up more things.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so this quote is perfect, and it's even better now in this context.
Yeah.
Like, I
yeah.
love it even more.
That's really good.
So, Moiraine is like, oh, and you, Matt, did you read it in a book? And he's like, yeah, I read sometimes.
That's my favorite quote.
I don't even know if Matt can read at this point.
Okay, we do know that we're pretty sure that he probably can most likely read.
How do we know that?
He's talked about it, that he can in fact read. Like, he's in his own thought process. He can read. He just doesn't have a lot of time for it.
He just doesn't care to.
He doesn't get around to it, so. So,
okay.
it's that whole public school education
Right,
stuff.
there was none, you mean.
It wasn't great in
No.
the Two Rivers.
Okay, so Moiraine is way more concerned about Rand and Rand being in there. Moiraine probably thinks that Matt's questions were like, which girl should I sleep with tonight?
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, and in all, like, truthfulness here, she's not wrong, because his first 3 questions started off okay and then got derailed immediately. So, like,
Yeah.
she's not wrong.
No, okay. So now Moiraine wants to know what Rand's answers were, and me too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
I want to know what all their questions are.
He says, my answers are mine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, snip snap.
But he does say that they were hard to get and they had to bring in a translator. And Moiraine says, oh, yes, it's because they're speaking the old tongue.
Oh, dang.
And Matt's like, yeah, me too. Oh, I couldn't understand them at all. And I didn't even get any answers.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about at all. So, holy smokes, not only does Matt know the old tongue and sometimes say it, he had an entire conversation repeatedly with these snake creatures.
Oh.
completely in the old tongue, 100%,
Yeah.
without being consciously aware of it.
None.
Not even at all.
No.
And not just like a little sentence here or there.
Nope.
So, how about that?
Yes.
Huh?
Very interesting.
Okay.
So he tries to lie about not getting answers. And interesting, in my book, there is another missing letter.
Is it the, in fact, I
It is
never
the I.
got?
It's a capital I. That's
Yeah,
missing.
same here.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
because I was thinking, where's that little guy gonna turn up?
Yeah. Oh, ooh, okay.
Because the A
no little
was
upside down.
like, the little A was like hiding somewhere else in the book.
I don't understand how books are printed. It doesn't make any sense
But
to me.
anyways, yeah. Oh, so your I is gone here? You
Yeah.
have the same typo?
Same typo.
Okay.
I didn't have the funny little A, though, so...
No, you didn't.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, we'll keep our eye out for an I.
Nice. Oh my
somewhere.
god. Okay. That was the worst.
I didn't even mean it. It just came out. Okay, so then turns out these snake people steal your sensations, or rather savor them.
Yeah.
They taste them.
They
taste
rummage around through them.
They taste them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Rand especially wants to know, are they true?
And I mean, valid question. Like,
And
how true are they?
As far as Moiraine knows, she goes, yeah, they're true.
But it's unclear as to how they are
Yes,
true.
exactly.
Which, again, sounds a lot like Min.
Min. Right. She
Even
knows
if she
they're
knows
true,
it's true.
and she can't say, like, how it's going to happen.
Yeah, like, even if it doesn't really make sense, it's gonna come true. Just how.
Yes,
So,
exactly. So,
okay.
like, Perrin with a hawk and a falcon on his shoulders
yeah.
is representative of just, like, people in the world, right?
And it kind of just sounds like Min doesn't know how to interpret the symbols.
Not yet. I think she might learn.
Ooh, not
She's
yet.
gonna go through this doorway and ask these people about it?
Be like, yo,
You
show
made
me...
the connection.
Okay.
Nah.
I did.
I think not, though.
Okay.
But, like,
She's
maybe.
nowhere near here.
No, but it's gonna go to Tarvalin. Isn't that where she is? And
She
she's
is
being
there.
held captive there with a dress and makeup?
Yeah, that's true, by Swan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Hey, there's a chance.
Okay, so we get that their world is folded in strange ways, which is how I think that all three of these people could have been in that world asking questions all at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
And that's sort of like how things went wrong. But I think because Matt was like thrown out of there, like struggling and things were going crazy, but Moiraine and Rand stepped out of there. Like, they were told to leave, and then they just did.
Well, and I also highly doubt that they were demanding more answers
Yes.
than they were given. So,
absolutely. It wasn't like a struggle to get them out. But it does seem like they went in after Matt, because when Matt entered, they were like, oh my god, it's been so long, and yet the Seekers come again.
yeah,
It's almost like he was the first one that they've seen in a long time.
it sounds that way.
And then they were not expecting 2 more people to walk in, and one of them to be like the freaking Dragon Reborn. So
Yeah, which is like bad. So,
Bad.
okay.
So Moiraine wants to know what Rand's answers are, and he says, I'll tell you if you tell me.
Oh, yeah, it's like
And for a second, I thought it was going to work.
Oh, really?
A little bit.
She might. Well,
She considered.
yeah.
She considered.
Give her time, maybe. Maybe that might be like a bargaining chip.
Yes, because I think that she wants to know so badly.
Oh my god,
what
so
Rand
badly.
asked and what, like, that's her whole freaking.
Of course she wants to know, and
Yeah.
she might be willing to
I
tell
think
the
that
answers.
maybe she
There
doesn't
is.
want Matt to know, maybe.
That's true too.
And she'll like
Like-
find Rand later.
And like maybe they'll discuss and like we'll talk about it later. So
Maybe. Because at this point, Rand is getting to a place where he, number one, doesn't really want Moraine's help.
Mhm.
And he doesn't need her guidance.
He doesn't want like unsolicited advice. Like,
no, he's getting to the point where he's like,
if I ask for help, then help. But other
he's
than
not like
that-
a confused little village boy anymore.
not as
right?
much. So,
I mean, like, he's
yeah.
still struggling, but he's not super virgin.
Yeah,
if that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Like,
No, I get that.
He's not virgin to the world. He is a little more experienced. He's ruling Tyr without Moraine's help.
I mean, he
For
did it.
the most part, right?
He did it.
So I think that he's like, I don't really need you. And if you want to help me, well then, here. Let's be on the same, like, level playing field. And if she wants to, like, stick around and make sure he doesn't die or whatever her motive is,
Yeah.
she's gonna have to start seeing him more as an equal. And it's she's gonna
not
hate
like an
that.
I'm above you situation. So
Yeah, she's gonna hate that.
I mean, Moraine's gotta at least be as powerful as Rand, right? So
Right. Okay. So it doesn't work. She goes to leave, and Matt then asks her, "Why can't you go in twice?" And she says, "If I knew everything, I would not have to ask questions."
which is a total non-answer.
No, I think that Matt's her least favorite child.
Yeah.
Matt annoys her the most out of everyone, I think.
Yeah. I agree. I think that's
Yeah.
a good point.
She, loves him because she has to, because it's her kid, but...
Yeah, I was thinking, at this point, she might be angry at the girls, too. But,
oh, yeah.
they
Nynaeve
totally...
is 100% her least favorite. But,
But, I mean, she gets recruitment points out of her. So, there is this mutual... There's this game
that's
that
fair.
she gets from,
Matt's just, annoying
it doesn't do anything for her.
And he's so strong to Viren, and she, doesn't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
She, tries to forget that he's Taviran, and then it, keeps coming to, smack her in the face.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well,
so,
hey.
she leaves. Rand asks Matt if he got what he wanted. And then Matt goes, "Did you?" But then Rand just goes to leave. And so there is that weird friend tension still.
Well, especially when Matt first saw Rand, he was like, oh my god, he's channeling. He doesn't look like a madman, but I don't know, he might be. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Matt still definitely feels some kind of way about Rand.
And super immature about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Rand goes to leave, Matt berates him for not going to the Two Rivers to help. Because in Matt's opinion, Rand should show up there and just blast all the White Cloaks.
Swoop in with your laser
with the
sword.
Power.
You have a lightsaber. Go use it on them. So.
Fire sword, Brett. And then Rand says, Perrin will do what he has to, but he says it in a pained voice. Almost like that was one of the questions that he asked.
Oh,
I think that Rand also might have asked questions about the Two Rivers.
Okay, well, here's my questions to you, because, this is kind of the end of this chapter.
Yeah.
And I want to know what you think Rand asked for questions and what you think Moiraine asked for questions.
Okay, so Rand says he must do what he has to, or Emond's Field will fall to worse than White Cloaks.
Yeah, the entire world.
That's the end of this chapter.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what Rand says. He's like, I'm not going to Emond's Field to help. I have other things to worry about, or Emond's Field will fall to worse than White Cloaks.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Dark One stuff.
One stuff.
Yeah, okay. So what questions did Rand ask? We got Matt's questions, but any general concept ideas. I don't need specific questions, but general ideas.
It's likely he asked about the Forsaken.
Okay.
In some way.
Sure, okay. I'll take that.
Because he knows that he's supposed to fight them all, and he also has one who's in love with him and trying to pair up with him.
How do I ditch my crazy ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and this is the big thing. The rules say he's not supposed to ask about the Shadow, the Dark One, anything to do with evil people. So
right. I wonder if maybe he asked about if he was destined to go crazy. Or if he asked, because those are things that are on his mind all the time, right?
Yeah.
Or if he asked if there's somebody who can help him.
Okay.
In some way.
Yeah.
How can he learn? I don't know. Other than that.
Learn how to channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Those are all good questions. Okay, and what about Moiraine?
Uh-huh.
General concepts.
How can I stop Rand from dying?
Okay.
I don't know. My bigger question is...
How do I deal with Nynaeve?
Yeah. My bigger questions were, what were Matt's other, two other questions?
Okay. Did you brainstorm at all?
No.
Any ideas?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
Family?
Well, we got the family piece.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, who's got the best drinks in the world?
Nah.
And then...
It was probably about how can he fix, holes in his memory. It was probably had to do with his memory.
He went on this big, long rant about memories.
Yeah.
And, nothing... And, nothing came of that.
Well, no, because they didn't...
Because he got derailed from the questions.
Exactly.
But it's maybe that was one of the questions.
That's a big thing for him.
Yeah.
And then maybe also... Because he knew he shouldn't talk about the Dragon Reborn. But I wonder if he had, a specifically worded question about whether or not he was supposed to... stick with Rand in some way.
Yeah, okay.
Should I stay and help my friend?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Okay. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so let's move on, because that is the end of that chapter. And then we have chapter 16 with Leavetakings.
Yeah. I just gotta put it out there. I hate this chapter in like a hilarious kind of way.
It's boring.
Well, it's like I feel so bad for Loyal, and I hate Perrin and Faile.
Oh, this part, right.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Ugh.
It's terrible.
Oh yeah, it's awful.
They treat Loyal so bad.
People recently have been asking me if I'm Team Faile. How do you say her name? I don't know how to say any names.
Faile.
Yep. Or Barrelane. Like,
okay.
Whose side am I on?
Yeah.
And how about I don't like
Fuck 'em
either
both.
of them, and
Yeah.
I also don't like Perrin, so they can all just go die in the waves.
Hey, maybe.
Except I don't want Loyal dying.
Oh, he'll make it out.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
But then he'll be sad.
Maybe he'll just ditch him.
Yeah, he should.
He really should.
After this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we enter on Perrin's point of view very early in the morning. The sun's coming up. He's been laying awake. He thinks about how he did the right thing by telling Faile she can't come and throwing rocks at her because he's stupid.
Yep.
And he leaves his room and goes walking around the stone, and there is little evidence from last night's attack.
Yeah, the army of servants are cleaning away.
Cleaning all night.
So the ones who haven't been murdered.
Right. So then he gets to Loyal's room, and at this point, I think, excellent. Good.
Yeah, this is like the first real big reference.
It
like
certainly is.
Well, confirmation that Loyal is in fact definitely alive.
Alive and here still.
And here.
So, we get a description of his giant room and what an ogier is.
Okay, important. We saw in The Dragon Reborn, every time Loyal got a Loyal-sized bed, he had to evacuate that inn that night, and he never got to sleep on a big-sized bed.
Oh, that's true. So now he's had an ogier-sized room for
like
a
while.
while.
So yay for that.
Okay. And we also get a description about what an ogier is, because
if you forgot,
it's been so long since we've talked about them.
Yeah.
So he has been up half the night writing about the attack, which is difficult because he didn't see most of the fight, and he's like writing all this stuff for his book. His room is full of flowers, which originally I didn't pay attention to.
But now you did, because it's
I
important.
Did, because then Faile pops up from behind some of those flowers.
She was waiting for him.
And she goes, Loyal is a hero.
Yeah, so this is great. I love this story about Loyal from last night. It's fantastic.
Okay, well, tell us about it.
Okay, so Loyal gathered up all the children and a bunch of the moms into a big room, and he single-handedly held the door against like Trollocs and Fades and defended all of them and kept them all alive.
Go Loyal.
Go Loyal. Like, holy smokes, you don't want to... We've seen him pissed off.
Yep.
And he was probably really pissed off.
Right, I like this way better than what I predicted.
About, like,
Didn't
Loyal?
I say that he was just gonna, like, go around killing Trollocs and stuff?
I don't even think you said that.
I did.
Did you?
Because I said he's been able to... We talked about how he manhandled Trollocs before.
Yeah.
And things like that, so...
But yeah, he, like, did some total defense, and it was great, so...
Go Loyal.
And all the flowers are from all the women of the stone.
Cool.
He's fantastic, yay.
And so Faile goes on and on and on.
On and on.
Buttering Loyal up. At least she thinks that's what she's doing.
And, like, taking jabs.
She thinks she has an excellent strategy. She's like, any woman would love to marry you for being so great.
Well, she's also shooting shots at Perrin.
Oh, that's literally what I wrote. Shot at Perrin, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. But that is Loyal's worst nightmare. Like, that's the worst for him. And speaking of, Perrin asks Loyal if he's heard from his mother.
Why wouldn't he? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says no, but he did see someone from studying Shanghai in the city.
Yeah.
Leifar.
Yeah.
Which looks an awful lot like Lanfear, and I had to do a funny double take.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was another typo or something, because
it
looks like Lanfear and it's just missing an N.
Yeah, and it's like a weird order.
Yeah.
But it's like a person. Okay, so...
Well, it's an Ogier.
Ogier are people, too.
Are they?
Well, you know, not humans, but they're people.
I feel like we've had this discussion before. I'm having deja vu.
Okay. Anyways, Leifar, not Lanfear.
Right. So, turns out, Loyal has been named a runaway.
It's so good.
And his mother wants to marry him off now that she's going to know that he's in Tyr.
And Leifar is totally going to rat him out.
100%.
What a jerk.
And Faile is super confused.
Yeah.
So, Perrin tells Loyal he has to go to the Two Rivers and Loyal should come, and his mother won't find him there.
Yeah.
And Loyal's like, yeah, good idea, except I don't want to leave Rand. I'm writing the book about him, and it's going to be called the Dragon Reborn.
Which is pretty cool. It's like there's a reason why you could like totally call this series The Dragon Reborn.
Yes.
Because it's by Loyal.
100%. So.
He's not happy with the title after he says it. He's like, oh, I thought it sounded better.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too. It's great.
And it's funny that this came out after the book called The Dragon Reborn came out.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is like Robert Jordan subconsciously didn't really like the Dragon Reborn title of book 3.
Thought it sounded better.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little on the nose.
Well, also
for
that could have
right?
and I don't really know. I've never looked into like working titles for a series, but maybe did he originally want to call the series The Wheel of Time or The Dragon Reborn?
Maybe.
Right? And then like, oh, The Dragon Reborn doesn't sound so good, and then switched it to Wheel of Time. So
or
like,
maybe
who knows?
book 3 is to be called The Dragon Reborn is a little on the nose.
Yeah, that's
right.
Too,
so like maybe he's like wasn't always 100% on with it. I don't know.
It might be like an inside shot.
We're looking way too into that.
Yeah.
So Perrin is like, look, man, let me level with you. You're going to write no book if your mom finds you here. And I need you to take me through the ways because of White Cloaks attacking my people and stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
And Loyal basically agrees with no questions asked. And Faile's like, okay, great. Here's the thing, though. You made an oath.
Yep.
To me.
So here's the thing. The thing that Barrowland said to her, the thing that we were confused about at the end of last chapter with Faile,
yeah.
the Ogre's Oath, that's when Faile was like, oh man, she gave me the piece of I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then she's enacted her plan to screw over Perrin and be mean to Loyal.
Yeah.
Just like trick him and use him.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
So, she has gone and tricked Loyal into promising her that he will be the one to show her the ways whenever she asks.
Before he takes anybody else.
Yeah. And he's like, not really. I promised to show you a way gate.
Yeah.
And she's like, nope. Nope. That's a loophole. It's the ways.
Yeah.
And this is annoying because she's totally used Loyal in a way to get back at Perrin and do something that Perrin clearly doesn't want her to do.
Yeah.
Like, this is so bad.
And also, like, I'm not on Perrin's side here because Perrin's also an idiot for, like, refusing to let her go, but...
If your boyfriend wants to go on a trip and is like, you can't come with me, to the point where then he breaks up with you.
Yeah. It's like...
You shouldn't then trick his friend into taking you on that trip.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But the friend doesn't know that you guys are even fighting, so he's really confused. And he's also the nicest guy in the universe.
Yes.
And would never say no to anybody for any reason.
It's literally... the worst. This is so bad.
Keep Loyal out of your childhood squabbles. Like,
seriously.
Yeah.
So, we get a back and forth for a while.
See, I know that was a John Mulaney reference too.
It was. But seriously though, it goes on for pages.
It does. It's like way too long.
And I just go, poor Loyal, caught in the middle. Faile is going to make Loyal take her through the ways without Perrin.
Yeah. Okay. Loyal does at no points understands what's going on. He doesn't pick up on it at all, ever.
No. And just so that you know, I'm skipping over all of this, so if there's anything you want to say...
That was my main point. Loyal, even from beginning to end, at no point does he understand they're fighting.
No.
Because then he's like, oh, wait, you guys both want to go? Well, then it's simple. Perfect. We'll all go together.
But then Faile tells Perrin he can go if he asks. And Perrin is a stubborn asshole and says, no, I'll just follow a bit behind you.
It's like slightly behind your
and
light
I
circle.
Hate everything about this. And Loyal's like, just ask her, man. And Perrin's like, no. And then Loyal is like, Faile, just let him come. And then she's like, no.
Yeah.
And Loyal's just like, you stubborn humans, I don't understand what's happening.
Like, he doesn't get it at all. But here's the thing. Like, when we're talking on the scale of petty arguments from first relationship teenagers, I can also say that if you counted some of my pettiest arguments from like first relationships, the
stakes were never this high.
Well, not to you in your opinion, but like maybe I felt they were this high. I don't know. So
yeah, you were never going off to sacrifice your life to save your family and didn't want your girlfriend to watch. So
Yeah.
that.
I mean, there was me missing Our Lady Peace concert once, so like
What?
that wasn't good.
Are you serious?
Hey, we don't need to get into that, but
Oh
I
my
didn't
God.
go. So
That wasn't me, and I don't know that
no,
one.
it wasn't you. I'm talking like way back. So
Whoa.
yeah,
I
you
want
want
to
to
hear
talk
that
about
story.
arguments? You know what's worse than Our Lady Peace concert?
No.
Fargo.
Oh, yuck.
Yeah.
North Dakota.
Sorry, anybody.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story later.
No. This is where it ends. This is all you get.
I'm going to hear it
We're
later.
done.
I'm going
Okay.
to hear it later. Okay. So, at this point, Faile thinks her plan is so smart, but this is only going to make Perrin more mad at her because now he's just pretending like she's not even there. And Perrin's like, I'm going to go get ready. And feels like, when we go's my decision. You're going to be ready in 2 hours. And
Yeah.
then Perrin just leaves.
So are you excited to see this journey through the ways with stubborn asshole Perrin and stubborn asshole Faile?
I mean, let me tell you about the next thing that happens, and I'll tell you why I'm excited.
Okay.
Because if it was just these three going,
Yeah,
it would be awful.
but it's not.
But it's not.
This is sweet. Okay.
So he leaves the room, and he runs into Gaul outside the room, and turns out Rand told Gaul that Perrin is going to the Two Rivers, and apparently he's told like some other Aiel also.
Yeah, we're not really sure on that.
No, but turns out Gaul wants to go with him.
Hey.
And Perrin's like, okay, but we're traveling the ways. And Gaul just goes, all right, well, death comes for all men.
Well, and you know, Perrin is the one who saved Gaul.
Yes, I do know that.
So, like, there definitely is some sort of connection there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a one-for-one situation, and probably in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I sort of get the feeling that Rand told Gaul about this and subtly, not so subtly, asked him to go protect Perrin.
Well, because Gaul's like, well, he didn't explicitly say go with Perrin, but he was like, yo, people are going to try and kill him, so, like, maybe kind of sort of he needs some help of an Aiel man.
Yeah.
Which could be you.
Yes.
So, there you go.
Okay.
Good for Rand. Actually, he did stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Matt was being a dick about, like, Rand not doing anything to help Emmons Field.
True.
But Rand
maybe
clearly is doing what he can.
is. But
so.
Matt is so immature, he just, like, doesn't understand or see past anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So we get a scene change, and it's to Elaine, and I say, sort of.
It's sort of. All of Elaine's perspectives are... I don't know if we talked about this.
We did. We
It's
said this
so
out loud.
wishy-washy.
After I finished this chapter, I closed it, and I went, man, Elaine is so weak.
She's like an observer.
Her chapters are so weak that in the middle of them, I forget that I'm in her perspective.
I had to do a double take too and be like, wait, is this Egwene? No,
There's
no,
at
it's
one
not.
point she's talking about sewing the stone terangrial into her dress.
Yeah.
And I think to myself, while I'm reading, I thought Egwene was going to give that away.
Ah.
Because I thought
Okay.
we were in Egwene's head, and we were not.
That's true.
It's Elaine. Elaine has the terangrial.
Elaine has a perspective, so okay.
Okay, so Elaine, Nynaeve, and Egwene are together getting ready for their journeys. Like, they're packing and stuff.
They're packing and there's lists.
There's lists.
So.
That's Nynaeve's favorite. And does anyone know why I don't like Nynaeve so much? And it's because I'm Nynaeve.
Comprehensive list taker?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the lists.
Every time we go anywhere, for
Yeah.
any reason, for anything,
Yeah.
there are lists. There's to buy lists, there's to do lists, there's to pack lists, there's to clean lists. There's lists.
There's lists.
But our trips are so organized, and it's awesome.
Organized fun.
The packing isn't the fun.
No, I'm just saying, like, on a trip, if you have organized fun, you can have the maximum amount of fun packed into one trip.
Good save. Good save, man.
Hey, I've told you that.
You don't want chaotic nothingness.
That's true. Or just, like, wasting time thinking about what to do. If you pre-plan everything, it's all sorted out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So,
That's why we work well together.
it is.
Yeah.
Because when we're trying to make a decision when things aren't pre-planned, basically we sit around and end up doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So, plan fun. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Apparently, Rand said something rude to Elaine,
Sort of.
like he didn't try to stop her from going.
It's so... Okay.
So she gave him some letter pouring her heart out or something.
It was 18 pages, front and back.
Good one.
Thanks.
Apparently, he was just like relieved that she's leaving, and that's very upsetting to her.
Well, also keep in mind, he hasn't read the letter yet.
Also, men are difficult.
They are.
Yeah.
Letter formats don't make it better for men.
Right.
Yeah, because then you can just like dwell on everything and read it over again. But he hasn't read it yet.
No.
That's important later.
Okay, but then the door crashes open,
Ah!
and it's Lan.
This is great. Okay.
And apparently, Nynaeve let Lan think that she was going to Tarvalin, and Lan is pissed.
You know, my favorite land quote is
Light
right here.
woman?
No.
That one?
Don't bandy words with me. I can feel the frustration from Lan, where she's like, well, I didn't say I was going to Tarvalin. Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, that's funny. And he's like, you idiots are all accepted, not Aes Sedai. I don't know why the Amyrlin and Moiraine are giving you so much responsibility, but I will not let you go to Tanchico.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing to say.
And Nynaeve is like, I know we're going. So he's really upset, and Nynaeve won't tell him why they're going because Moiraine hasn't told him.
Okay, so I just want to kind of like bring this up. We know Lan as like the most stoic, like hard-lined guy who doesn't show emotion ever.
Basically, if his eyebrow raises once,
it's like, oh my god, that's such a big sign.
Yeah.
He is so flustered.
Oh my
god. So we can
God.
figure out what Nynaeve's been doing the last little while.
This is the profession of love I was talking about.
She brought Lan to his breaking point of frustration.
Amazing.
She broke his brain.
Apparently women bring that out in men.
Bring out the best things in him.
Except for when Perrin's frustrated with Faile, he just shuts her out and pretends she's not there.
Different ways to deal with things.
Different. I like this though with Lan. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
So, he says they need someone to protect them there because Tanchico's super dangerous.
Yeah.
And
oh boy, okay.
I say I can't really argue with that because they really don't take very good care of themselves.
Well, it's easy to be like the whole, these three, like the women don't need protection, but like
they do.
These two specific women need protection.
Yeah. Everything they've ever done, they've gotten into serious trouble and
immediately captured.
And need to be rescued.
Yeah.
The entire, I would love a scene where they get captured and free themselves.
Well, they just, happen to, be rescued at the same time they're gonna free themselves.
That it's one time. Except, maybe that would have worked. But, maybe not. If the Aiel didn't show up.
The weird bandit camp, there's 100 and something of them, so.
Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
So.
But anyways, these women need protection.
They do need some. They need to learn a little more before I can say they can take care of themselves.
They're not capable of that yet.
They are not. They're too bad at this. So, anyways, Nynaeve says Lan's place is with Moiraine, and then he struggles with words, and Nynaeve orders him to stay with Moiraine until she releases him from her bonds, and he's gonna do what Nynaeve says, and then she shows him the letter from Swan.
Yeah, so, okay.
Yikes. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit.
Unpack that.
Yeah.
So, Lan's on the verge of,
leaving Moiraine.
Yeah, and I say verge of, but, he's considering it.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I just want to, bring it back to Eye of the World. The first time that Lan, hesitated from what Moiraine was doing to go back and rescue Nynaeve.
Which was very shocking for Moiraine.
Yeah.
She,
was whoa.
First and last named him.
I've lied. Yeah. And that's when you're in trouble. So, that was the breaking point. And now we're here where he seems to be considering abandoning Moiraine to come with her to protect her in Tanchico.
Breaking his oaths.
And it's is that even a thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But apparently releasing a warder is a thing.
Apparently, we don't know what the process is.
No.
But we also know that Moraine's got this big giant plan to pass Lan off to Morel the Green.
Right.
Aja.
Yeah, when she dies.
When she dies, and that's a weird plan in itself. But has that plan changed at all? Because Nynaeve wants him, so...
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he sees the letter from Swan, and he's like, why the fuck would the Amyrlin give this to a stupid accepted?
Yeah.
And they argue a little longer, and then he just, can't take the tension, and storms over and just starts making out with her.
Yeah, so the award for the most passionate kiss of the series so far?
This one.
This one, for
Except
sure.
Elaine thinks that her kiss was...
Okay. I love the reactions. Egwene averts her eyes because she's embarrassed.
She looks away.
And Elaine's like, so that's how you do it.
Watches and wondering if that's what her and Rand look like.
I bet, and she's just mentally taking notes. Okay. So driving to a point of mental breakdown.
Yeah. And then at this point, Elaine thinks that she wants to write Rand a different, more assertive letter.
And oh my god, he hasn't read the first one yet.
Yeah.
So
she's... Yeah.
And again, important very soon.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the chapter, we find out that she does, in fact...
She's going to
write him a second note to go along with the first one.
I thought she was going to replace it.
Doesn't sound like it. She already handed it off.
No, this paragraph here, where Lan and Nynaeve are making out, she thinks if there's time to write him a different letter to replace the other one.
Okay, so what she says is she wondered if there was time to write him another letter, taking back everything she said in the first.
Oh, so he's going to read the first one.
And then she's going to give him
And then he's going to get another one.
Yeah.
That's like, never mind everything in that letter.
Exactly. This is what I feel. So it's like, it does sound like there's going to be 2 letters.
Oh, and that's not going to be confusing at all for poor Rand.
Rand's pretty good with emotions and feelings and stuff, so he'll be fine.
And deciphering women and their motives.
Well, I'm fond of you, Rand al'Thor.
Right. Okay. Anyway. So... Lan finally puts Nynaeve down, and she pretends to be, like, mad about this. And then he says that she has made a place in his heart where he thought there was no room, and other sappy stuff.
Yep.
And if she dies, he will not survive her long.
Aw, so sweet.
Is this a proposal?
I mean, it's not nothing.
Like, this is a proclamation.
He already gave her a ring.
Oh, yeah. Like, this is, like... If we were even slightly wondering where they're standing in their relationship with each other...
It's not nothing.
It is not nothing. She has made flowers grow where there was only desert or something. Like, he's so poetic. But
he is.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Nynaeve.
Wow.
Go Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay.
Lan sharing his feelings, sort of.
Whoa, like yelling his feelings at her.
Hey, you gotta get him out somehow. Explode out of me.
Okay, so he does this, like, mock as you command thing, and then, like, storms away dramatically.
That's like water humor, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then Egwene says, I thought you wanted him free of Moiraine. Why didn't you let him come with us? Or with you.
Yeah.
Egwene's not going.
Egwene's not going.
Yeah. And Nynaeve says something as big as, like, breaking his oaths should be of his own doing.
Yeah, like, she doesn't want him coming as an oath breaker and, like, with that just gigantic weight on his shoulders of, like, abandoning his Aes Sedai, whatever it means.
And if she had asked that of him, then she also has the weight of that.
Yeah,
right?
then it's, like, on her. It's just bad. And that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Like, you got to break up with your old girlfriend before you start with a new girlfriend.
Right.
For reasons.
100%. So now Nynaeve is done talking to Egwene about her love life and asks if Egwene is ready for her journey to the Waste. And Egwene says that Avienda is... I've been practicing. That was good, hey?
That was good, yeah.
Okay. Says that Avienda is getting everything they need, and they should reach Ruidian in a month, and then Elaine and Nynaeve will be in Tanchico by then.
Yeah.
So now everyone is hugging and telling each other to be careful and talking about their plans to meet for coffee in Tel'aran'rhiod.
It's going to be great.
Yeah. And then Elaine decides... for sure, to write a new letter because men need a firm hand.
Yeah, on the fly as she's like heading to the ship. So
excellent.
But more importantly, Avienda's going to have to pack a little bit more supplies. Avienda and Egwene are going to Ruidian.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, we just learned
yes.
that
100%.
If Matt doesn't go to Ruidian, he's going to die.
Right.
So.
But like, how long is he going to fight it before he gets the pull?
Interesting. So is it like a now go with the girls, or is it a go later type situation?
I think it'll depend what Rand's plan is.
Oh, fair point, because like
Rand hasn't told anyone what he's doing yet.
Wait, is it tomorrow or is it today?
Okay, this is the morning.
This is the morning, so it's today.
It's today.
It's today. Okay.
Today's the day.
And Matt should have had at least a couple hours to either hang out at a bar / tavern or go to sleep and get some quality night rest. So today's the day.
Today's the day.
So.
And I could see Matt maybe finding out that Egwene and Avienda and probably others are heading back to the Waste, going to Ruidian.
Like some of the Aiel might be going back too, right?
Right. So like maybe if he hears that he might go. But I actually think that he's going to fight this for a little bit.
Because that's kind of what Matt does.
I think that he it would be too responsible of him to hear this news and that day
and then act on it.
Head to Ruidian.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
I mean, I think I know Matt at this point. He's my
even in Tar Valon, he was like, I gotta get on a ship, and then he gambled for 8 hours.
Oh, right.
So
it's,
it's just like, yeah, okay, so like maybe...
I just think that would be too responsible of a thing to do.
Yeah, I like that.
So I do think that eventually he'll get to Ruidian.
Well, he has to, or he will die.
Right, exactly. So I just don't think it's now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wonder where, like, maybe if Rand's also...
Like, we gotta figure out Rand's plan.
Yeah, if Rand, for whatever reason, is going, maybe Matt would go. Like, if there's a whole crew going, but, like, why would Rand go?
Okay.
Except for the whole People of the Dragon thing. Like, that's the only thing where I could see Rand maybe having a pull to find more out about that.
Sure.
The whole... Because, and that's in Ruidian, right? Where they, like, learned, like, where Ruark learned about the People of the Dragon, sort of.
Yeah, okay.
So, like, maybe there's a pull for Rand, but right now the Forsaken...
There seems to be more imminent threats.
Seem to be the biggest thing, but what will everyone not expect? And it's Rand going to the fucking waste. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Either that, yeah...
You should probably read and find out, hey?
I'm going to do that. I'm going to do just that.
There you go. Good segue.
Thank you. All right. I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think you got some reading to do. We can come back to it. So,
yeah. So
hey.
where's Matt going to go, though, if he's not going to go to Rowan?
Yeah.
Is he just going to stay here with Tom? Where's Tom? Him and Tom got to go somewhere.
Him and Tom got to go somewhere. What's Tom doing?
I don't know, but I bet it's going to be part of the pattern.
Oh, nice. Part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Vince Lewick, Michelle O'Brien, Sarah Wyatt, and Jamie Young. With music by Audionautics.com. You can pick up your own The Wheel Weave shot glasses, frosty mugs, t-shirts, and more at newcreations.jen.com/collections/the-wheel-weaves. You can become a patron at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast to support us making great content. You will also get access to bonus content, bonus episodes, stickers, keychains, monthly Q&A episodes, unedited video episode releases, and more. Don't forget to join the conversation over at our Discord channel. The link is posted on our Twitter page and our Patreon page. And find us on social media on Twitter and Instagram at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. Thanks again for listening to this episode. Don't forget to tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. And I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.